There's a moment in almost everyone's life when they realize something feels terribly unfair. You give your time, your energy, your loyalty, your patience, and somehow the people who seem to get the most respect are the ones who give the least. Maybe you've noticed it at work, maybe at school, maybe even inside your own family. You stay late to help, someone else takes the credit. You always answer messages, but when you need someone, they're suddenly busy. You avoid conflict because you don't want to hurt anyone. Yet somehow you're the one getting hurt over and over again. At first you tell yourself that's just life. You believe kindness always wins in the end. You believe people will eventually appreciate everything you do. But then years pass and nothing changes. The strange part is that deep down, you already know what's happening. Every time you say yes when you wanted to say no, a part of your mind quietly remembers it. Every time you ignore your own needs to keep someone else happy, your brain records another message. My feelings matter less than theirs. The frightening thing is that people don't need you to say those words out loud. They can feel them. Human beings are experts at reading invisible signals. Long before someone knows your personality, they notice your boundaries. They notice how quickly you apologize, how easily you change your opinion, how desperately you try to avoid disappointing others. And without realizing it, they start treating you exactly the way you taught them to. Here's the truth nobody likes to admit. Respect doesn't disappear overnight. It disappears one tiny compromise at a time. Think about a bridge. It doesn't collapse because of one heavy truck. It collapses because of thousands of tiny cracks that nobody thought mattered. Your self-respect works the same way. Every unnecessary apology, another crack. Every fake smile when you're exhausted, another crack. Every promise you make just because you're afraid someone might leave, another crack. Eventually, people stop seeing your kindness as generosity. They start seeing it as availability. They assume you'll always be there, always forgive, always understand, always sacrifice. And that's the moment kindness transforms into weakness. Not because kindness is weak, but because it no longer has boundaries. There's a reason psychologists often say that people value what they can lose. Imagine two friends. One answers every call within seconds, cancels plans for everyone, never disagrees, and asks for almost nothing in return. The other is kind too, but protects their time, says no without guilt, and refuses to tolerate disrespect. Which one do you think people secretly admire more? It's usually the second person, not because they're colder, but because they communicate something powerful without saying a single word. I value myself. That's what confidence really sounds like. Silence, boundaries, calm decisions, not loud speeches. The biggest lie you've ever been told is that being nice automatically makes people respect you. It doesn't. Being authentic does. Being honest does. Having standards does. Some of the kindest people on earth are also the strongest because they know exactly where kindness ends and self-respect begins. Now think back to your own life. How many opportunities did you lose because you didn't want someone to think you were rude? How many nights did you spend overthinking a simple conversation because you were terrified of disappointing someone? How many times did you carry emotional weight that was never yours to carry? If the answer is more than once, you're not alone. Millions of people are trapped inside the same invisible prison, the prison of being liked. The scary thing about this prison is that it doesn't have walls. It has expectations. You wake up every morning trying to become the version of yourself that makes everyone comfortable. Until one day you realize you've completely forgotten who you actually are. And that's where the real danger begins. Because the moment you stop living for yourself, someone else will happily decide how your life should be lived. The world doesn't reward people who abandon themselves. It rewards people who know their worth, protect their peace, and offer kindness as a choice, not as a desperate need to be accepted. And once you truly understand that, you'll begin to notice something you've been missing your entire life. The people who respected you the least were often the ones who benefited the most from your inability to say one simple word. No. Because here's what nobody tells you about people. Most of them don't consciously decide to take advantage of you. It happens slowly. Human nature follows patterns. When something is always available, the brain starts treating it like air. You don't wake up every morning feeling grateful that oxygen exists because it's always there. In the same way, when you're always saying yes, always forgiving, always fixing everyone's problems, people stop noticing your effort. What once looked like generosity becomes an expectation. The favors get bigger, the appreciation gets smaller, and one day, the first time you finally say no, they don't see it as a healthy boundary. They see it as betrayal. That's when you realize they never loved your kindness. They loved your obedience. It's a painful realization, but it's also one of the most freeing moments of your life, because from that point forward, you stop asking the wrong question. Instead of wondering, why don't people appreciate me? You begin asking, why am I teaching people that my needs come last? Those two questions sound similar, but they create completely different lives. The first makes you a victim. The second gives you back control. Think about the strongest people you've ever met. Chances are they weren't trying to impress everyone. They weren't explaining every decision or apologizing for existing. They listened more than they spoke. They helped when they genuinely wanted to help, not because they were afraid of rejection. They understood a truth that most people spend their entire lives avoiding. Every time you sacrifice your identity to keep someone else comfortable, you slowly disappear from your own life. And disappearing doesn't happen all at once. It happens conversation by conversation, compromise by compromise, until you wake up one day surrounded by people who know exactly what they want from you, while you no longer know what you want for yourself. That's why learning to say no isn't about becoming selfish. It's about becoming honest. A fake yes damages relationships far more than a respectful no ever could. If someone only values you when you constantly give, then what they value isn't you, it's your usefulness. Real respect survives boundaries. Real friendships survive honesty. Real love doesn't punish you for protecting your peace. The people who truly belong in your life won't disappear because you finally chose yourself. In fact, they'll probably respect you more. And the ones who leave? They were never staying for the right reasons anyway. Here's something worth remembering. Confidence isn't walking into a room believing you're better than everyone else. Confidence is walking into a room knowing you don't have to prove your worth to anyone. The moment you stop chasing approval, something strange begins to happen. You speak slower, you worry less, you laugh more genuinely. You stop replaying every conversation in your head at 2 in the morning. You stop carrying guilt that was never yours to carry. You stop confusing being needed with being loved. And perhaps for the first time in years, you start feeling free. Not because the world suddenly became kinder, but because you finally stopped handing strangers the power to define your value. The truth is, your life changes the day you understand that kindness without self-respect becomes self-destruction. You were never born to spend your entire existence earning permission to exist. You don't have to shrink so other people can feel bigger. You don't have to explain every choice, justify every dream, or apologize for protecting your time. The people who are meant to walk beside you will never ask you to abandon yourself just to keep them happy. So the next time you're about to say yes while your heart is screaming no, pause for a second and ask yourself one simple question. Am I being kind, or am I just afraid? That single question has the power to change your relationships, your confidence, your future, and maybe even your entire life. Because in the end, the people who leave when you finally respect yourself were never losing you. They were only losing control over you. And once you understand that, you'll never confuse people-pleasing with kindness again. You'll stop chasing acceptance, stop fearing rejection, and start building a life that doesn't require constant approval to feel meaningful. That's the moment you stop surviving for everyone else and finally start living for yourself. If this message made you see yourself differently, remember this isn't just another motivational speech to forget tomorrow. It's a decision to value your own time, your own peace, and your own life. Because the greatest act of kindness you'll ever perform isn't sacrificing yourself for everyone around you. It's refusing to lose yourself in the first place. And if you're ready to become someone who is respected, not because they please everyone, but because they know their own worth, then stay with us, because this is only the beginning.